Stephen Colbert. Need I say more? Chuck, I'll let you start.
Well, okay. I mean, I was, you know, the question is, the criticism isn't of him. It's of how we in the media and, frankly, what political office holders are treating him as. Look, he's got a shtick. I admire how he has educated his audience on super PACs. I think that's noble, and I think that's great. But I remember I was very offended when he testified on Capitol Hill in character. And I was more offended that members of Congress allowed him to do that. He is making a mockery of the system. And maybe the system deserves some mocking. Again, I don't dispute that notion. But what he's doing now with the campaign, is it fair to the process? Yes, the process is a mess. But he's doing it in a way that he feels as if he's trying to influence it with his own agenda that may be anti-Republican. And is that fair to the Republican Party? And we in the media are covering it as a shtick and a satire, but it's like, well, wait a minute here. He also seems to be doing his best to marginalize the Republican candidates in a way, and we're participating in that marginalization. I think we in the, quote, mainstream media need to be careful and wonder, what is he up to? What is his real agenda here? Is it to educate the public about the dangers of money in politics and what's going on? Or is it simply to marginalize the Republican Party? And so I think if I were a Republican candidate, I'd be concerned about that. Again, I like how he's educated the public on this and had some fun with it, but it's sort of like, you know, both Jon Stewart and Stephen Colbert have this ability to want to mock us in the media all the time for claiming we don't do our jobs. And then when you call them out on it, they say, we're just comedians. Actually, no, you're not anymore. You are mocking what we're doing, and you want a place in this, then you're going to also be held accountable for how you cover and how you do your job a little bit. So I say that in the amount of fun that I enjoy watching the shows too. I enjoy the parody. I enjoy the satire. But it's sort of like, I have to admit, I'm uncomfortable when it's like actually merging into the real world, if that makes sense. It's sort of like, I don't know, as William Hurt said in broadcast news, well, I don't, you know, you tell me we're crossing the line, they keep moving the sucker. Whatever it is with this line of satire, parody, and the real world of American politics, we've converged it to the point of, I worry we're going to trivialize our institutions, make people more cynical, raise an entire generation that's even more cynical than they are now, to the point where we have already demonized institutions that, frankly, I do idolize. I idolize the institutions of the United States Senate, United States House. I'm sorry that there are a lot of people there that don't idolize it in the same way. But I also think that this ideological fight sometimes between the two parties is a good thing for the system. You know, yes, we're still trying to figure out how to cover it in this new society, in this new way of covering things, and I think the minute by minute certainly isn't healthy for the system. But over time, it has worked, and you know, I just worry about this over parodizing of the process where, and we complain now that we feel like the most qualified people decide not to run because they don't want to be the butt of jokes. Well, I think this is going to exasperate the process.